We're halfway through the show here on Hurrdat Sports Radio, AM 590, ESPN Omaha, ESPN Tri-Cities. We are
There's a lot of tension.
Live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Yeah, because people are being dumb.
You know how I would have.
I don't think
you know how I would have came back from break. I would have said we're halfway through the show here on Hurrdat Sports Radio. Bo Jackson is the best. We're live on this station, that station. Bo Jackson is still the best. We're still live on this station, that station. We're on Shane, on YouTube.
Shane,
we're on the internet where you can call us. Bo Jackson is still the best.
Do you mind stop lying for a minute so I can get us all paid? Is that okay? Is that all right? Is that cool?
Is there a lot of tension in
here? Yes. I read it, but my buddy sent a message. He said, so let me get this straight. And by the way, we can get in his NBA fantasy league. I'm just going to say this. I'm going to let you do your read.
All right.
The reason it got like this is he said, let me get this straight.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence is a generational talent, but Bo Jackson is overrated.
Talent doesn't equal production.
No, you can come
Omaha
back
men's
to
basketball tonight, February 22nd. Frankie Fiddler is just getting buckets as he does, but it is the last opportunity to see your Omaha Mavericks men's basketball team at home this season. They're gearing up for the conference tournament, and they've got Oral Roberts tonight on senior night. Get your tickets now by calling the box office 402-554-MAVS or by going to omavs.com/ticks. Let's pack the Baxter. All right, now to stupid comments that people are making.
You could have read that more like, and Bo Jackson is still the best, and he's comparable to Earl Campbell in a lot of ways.
Who would have ever thought I would be the same one?
I certainly didn't have that on my bingo card. Let me just address.
I feel like he just took a shot.
Let me just address maybe a little bit. Let me just address the Trevor Lawrence size whole elephant in the room here. All right. So your guy says, I say Trevor Lawrence is a generational talent, but Bo Jackson is overrated. First of all, I think some of you all might have some like SAT or like reading comprehension problems here. All right. Overrated does not mean bad. Overrated means the hype and the reverence for a certain player does not match what they actually were. If I told you that a football player who played 38 career games, never rushed for 1,000 yards in a season, never played an entire season, would still be talked about 35 freaking years later, you'd be like, did he murder someone? Is he now a famous commentator? No, he's Bo Jackson. If I told you that a Major League Baseball player that only had 400 plate appearances in his career 400 at-bats, not plate appearances, 400 at-bats in his career 3 times, a whopping one-time All-Star, a career sub-800 OPS. If you don't know what that means, look it up. And we're still talking about him today like he's the second coming.
He was the second coming.
You'd be like, oh, who is this person? No.
It's Bo Jackson.
It's Bo Jackson. Wildly overrated.
Nah.
Not as good as Deion Sanders as a dual sport athlete.
Nah.
Certainly not as accomplished.
This is what I'm talking about. And not to mention, a perfect example for my Trevor Lawrence point.
Nah.
Because guess who was prodigiously talented? Bo Jackson. Guess who didn't produce hardly diddly squat? Bo Jackson. Okay? That's the perfect argument for Trevor Lawrence, because guess what? I believe Trevor Lawrence, very, very talented. Generationally talented, one might say. Guess what? The production hasn't matched the talent. Who does that sound like? Oh, it sounds like a fella I just described of having barely played in the NFL. Yet we see highlights every year.
Nah.
His name was one Bo Jackson.
Nah.
So you're telling me that maybe talent and production aren't the same thing?
Oh.
The thing I've been saying this entire time? Oh, wow. Crazy. Bo Jackson's overrated. Does that mean he was bad? No. He is overrated. All you people that were playing video games in the 80s before they actually had Madden and all that stuff, you confuse the stats you put up with Bo Jackson in Tecmo Bowl with the stats that he put up in real life. Because guess what? This man had 2,700 yards total rushing in his career.
I think John Bishop said it best.
Total.
John Bishop said it best.
What did he say,
Never,
Shay?
ever, never.
Overrated.
2,700 total yards in his career rushing. Chris Johnson almost got that in a year.
Yeah, and they play 16 games now.
Yeah, they played 16 games then too, but Bo Jackson didn't play 16 games.
Games
Let
in.
it ride.
They didn't play 16. Bo Jackson never played 16 games.
That's what I'm saying.
Ever. Never, ever, ever played 16 games.
He touched it. He touched it.
You know why? Because he was never available. He was off playing sub 800 OPS baseball. Have fun, bud. But he ran up an outfield wall that one time, so he's the GOAT. Cool.
You seem very hurt right now. You gonna be
What are we
all right?
doing?
You're making a pretty good point for Bo Jackson over there.
He's an incredible athlete who did not live up to his athletic prowess. Call it injury, call it whatever. I mean, we don't give Greg Oden the pass for injury, but we're going to give Bo Jackson the pass for injury. We don't give Sam Bowie the pass for injury.
Brandon Roy.
We'll give Brandon Roy a pass for injury, but Bo Jackson got injured. That's why he didn't produce.
Brandon Roy was sick.
Well, guess what? Before he got injured, he still was playing 10 games a year, 11 games a year, 10 games a year, and not rushing for 1,000 yards in any damn one of those seasons.
Can we get to my guy?
I just wanted to talk college playoff format, and
Can we get to our guy here?
why I'm mad at people for saying
You
Nebraska
just
wasn't
point,
in the
just
dance.
point to what I said that was wrong. Just point to anything that I said that was not factual. Point to anything I said
Let's go to out of breath, Brian.
on the Warhorse Sportsbook hotline. What's up?
What's up, B?
I'm fine.
What's going on, fellas?
Listen, I don't know. I'm just here for the
Yeah.
show.
You sit back for a minute, Damon.
I
Well,
have been. I
blasphemy.
haven't
Okay.
said a word.
But
Here we go.
blasphemy. Okay, but this is what I don't like about your discussion,
Okay.
Ravi. You're saying that the quarterback. I ain't even gonna mention his name.
Trevor
Yeah,
Lawrence,
He's a talent.
generational talent.
I'm going to judge. I'm going to say that you're judging that off of your eye towel, off what you can with your eyes.
Yeah.
The stats you're trying to use for Bo Jackson, I don't like it because you're using stats to compare him or prove your point. But to me, it's like you're using your eyeballs to judge Trevor Lawrence because he hasn't been in the league long enough to accumulate enough number to consider him even to be talked about in the same breath as Bo Jackson. So if we're going to talk about going by all eyeball and what we see, my eyeballs tell me that Bo Jackson was way more talented than Trevor.
My
okay?
eyeballs tell me that Trevor Lawrence has played 50
The numbers
NFL
don't-
games
I don't
already.
need to hear the number.
50
We're going by
NFL games
eyeballs on what
already,
you're saying.
more than Bo
You have
Jackson.
two different arguments.
I'm listening.
Settle on one. Settle on one is all I want. Either you going by the numbers or you going by the eyeball test. You putting two different arguments into one statement.
Okay, but so is everybody that's saying Bo Jackson isn't overrated and Trevor Lawrence is, right? I'm acknowledging Trevor Lawrence hasn't produced to the level that his talent dictates. I'm simply making the same argument for Bo Jackson, that he did not produce to the level that his talent dictated. It's the same argument for the same guy. I'm eye testing both of them, say, hey, both these guys, super talented. Both of them have not produced to that talent yet. By the way, Trevor Lawrence has played 12 more NFL games already than Bo Jackson ever did, just for the record. So you can't really say sample size is an issue here because Trevor Lawrence already has the larger sample size.
You're mad.
He's played 12 more NFL games than Bo Jackson ever did.
You seem very hurt right now. You're gonna be all right?
He started all 50 of those, by the way. How many games did Bo Jackson start? He started 23. Bo Jackson started a year and a half of NFL football. 23 games started. It is ridiculous.
I don't know if you're gonna get the NBA fantasy invite now.
Frustrating.
I'm going to get what?
The NBA fantasy invite now.
That's fine. That's fine.
It's okay.
You
I'm
okay
just
over
saying,
there?
They're making the same argument against Trevor Lawrence that I am making against Bo Jackson. You have to take both, right? My eye test tells me Trevor Lawrence is super talented. My eye test also tells me Bo Jackson was super talented. But talent and production aren't the same thing.
Mom, get my nuts.
By the way, Trevor Lawrence has passed for 4,000 yards in a season. I don't know if that's good or not. Twice, by the way.
I like turtles.
Twice. I don't know if that's – is that a big deal or no? Is that not –
I
that's,
don't know.
I don't know either.
So we're just not gonna get to the college football
I care
playoff
about
format.
you.
We may at some point. I mean, it's hard when people out here talking. out here when people talking wild about stuff they don't understand. But
Can I ask one question?
by the way, Trevor Lawrence only has 5 fewer rushing touchdowns than Bo Jackson. Rushing touchdowns. A quarterback.
It's not even the same position.
Yeah,
That's his.
that's the point,
That's
Shano.
That's his point.
16 total rushing touchdowns. He the GOAT, though.
It's a different era.
Yeah, an era where rushing
you didn't
was a
throw
bigger
that
deal.
in there.
Where rushing was a bigger
Can
deal.
you just tell me that Nebraska was in the tournament before last night, though? That's all I want to hear you say.
Resume. We're going to talk to Brian Edwards, our Vegas insider, coming up next here on Hurrdat Sports Radio.